have with us light-eyed beauty Saimi Kher, who has been winning hearts with her captivating performance in Goomer. Welcome, Saimi.
Thank you.
And thanks for talking to the Tribune.
Thank you so much for having me over.
So cricket has been your life, and you've grown up, playing cricket. When this role was offered to you, what did you think? It was providence, serendipity, or what?
It was me believing my parents finally, because my parents used to always say that, kind of manifest what you wish for. And I used to say, oh, all these things don't really exist. But ever since I started acting, I've kind of been manifesting wanting to play a cricketer on screen. And it took 7 years, but it happened thanks to Mr. R. Balki. So I think it's me believing in manifestation.
And the film got a lot of good reviews. Your performance in particular was highly appreciated. And it even opened at the festival in Melbourne. But somehow it didn't do so well theatrically. I mean, you were hurt by that response?
Well, it's always disappointing because obviously everyone wants the film to make a lot of money and the film to do well at the box office as well, because unfortunately that's what producers, media, and everyone looks at nowadays, which is the unfortunate thing. But it was just a thing of bad timing and bad luck, because we released with Gadar. No one really expected Gadar to blow up like it did, and I'm glad it did, because as an industry, we need films to make money and do well. So I'm glad it did, but it was unfortunate that we got washed away. But like I said, these things are not in our hand. We work to the best of our ability, and hope that it reaches more people, which is why the films taught me that you always get a second chance, and it's getting a second chance on ZEE5 very soon.
Yeah, I was exactly coming to that. Do you think, in times of OTT, where the audience reach is so wide, box office success doesn't matter so much as it did when you made your debut with Mirzya?
I agree with that, where it definitely matters a lot, because like I said, our future work depends, producers still look at what your box office success is and not so much whether you are a good actor or not. So it still does make a difference. But with regards to reaching a larger audience, I feel the OTT platforms have really, really helped actors, directors, and let work reach a larger audience, which wasn't the case when I debuted.
You play a paraplegic sports person in this. Do you think mastering the physical aspect of a part is tougher than getting the mental makeup?
No, I feel for me personally, it was much tougher to live Anina's emotional journey. The physical part of it, I feel if an actor dedicates enough time, you can still manage to pull off the physicality of it. The reason Balki sir cast me was because I knew the game. I used to play cricket when I was younger. So just the basics of the game, the body language is something which was natural to me. I had to learn how to play with one hand, with my non-dominant hand. वो तो सीख लेते हैं time के साथ. I feel you can learn anything, but the mental makeup of a character, I've never experienced anything so painful in life. And I've never been so strong in life either, because I feel adversity teaches you a lot of strength, and that's what this character taught me. That took a lot of effort, and I think it was emotionally the most exhausting experience I've had in life.
And you've been fortunate to have worked with the very best there are, whether it's Anurag Kashyap, you began with Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra, and now Mr. Balki. How much do directors help an actor?
I'm completely a director's actor, and I need hand holding throughout. I feel I've just been extremely fortunate, because every time the question of something didn't work at the box office comes my way, and you feel that, am I good enough or not? The answer comes when a very credible director backs you again. So that happened after Mirzya. Anurag Kashyap backed me like 8 months into Mirzya. The film took long to make. After which I worked with Neeraj Pandey right after. It was actually before Chok. So there was Anurag sir, Neeraj sir, Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, and now R. Balki. So every time you kind of doubt yourself as an actor and a maker as big as them backs you, you just feel the confidence back again. So I'm very fortunate that such incredible makers have backed me each time I felt down and out.
Even Raj and DK, I think you worked with
Yes,
them for.
I worked in a short film. I hope
So,
I get to work with them in a longer format.
so who would be your favorite director?
It's very tough to pick because your debut film is always special. So Rakesh sir is that always special person. I feel Anurag is somebody who's backed me when nobody was backing me. So I owe a lot to Anurag Kashyap, and he's like my sounding board. He's the one friend I have in the industry. So he's somebody I'm very close to. And I feel R. Balki is someone who I've known personally for 7-8 years, and will always be indebted and always be grateful because he's given me the best role of my life.
And you come from a filmy family. Your grandmother was Usha Kiran, and Shabana Azmi, Tanvi Azmi. All of them are related to you. So, what would be one big advantage of coming from a family which has had so many stalwarts, and one
I don't
disadvantage maybe?
I don't consider myself I don't think I've come from a filmy family. I didn't know my grandmother used to act till I was 11, 12 because my parents brought shifted to Nasik to bring up my older sister and me. So we had zero film connection, and I'm the most non-filmy person that you will find. So I don't find any filmy connection at all. The one disadvantage of it is that people think I'm from a filmy family, and I've had the advantages or perks of the word nepotism that comes along nowadays
Yeah.
every day. So I feel that that's been the biggest disadvantage because I am not from a film family. I've done the whole standing in Aram Nagar for 4-5 hours for an ad audition, getting rejected for 3 years. So the biggest disadvantage is people think that I'm from a filmy family. The advantage of knowing that my grandmom, my aunt used to act, I think the advantage only is that I just feel like, oh, hopefully it's there in the genes somewhere. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's the only advantage.
But one advantage could also be that a casting couch, which is supposedly an ugly reality of the film industry. I mean, you escape that trap because they know that you come from such a family.
No, I didn't escape the trap because I was propositioned when I was 19, 20 years old. So again, the conception of I'm from a filmy family, I've escaped and had it easy with reaching people or with opening doors. In proposition, then it was extremely sad because I feel that when it happens to you personally, a woman actually reached out to me, a casting director said it was for a South. So a woman reached out to me and I played along saying that I don't know what you're saying. She said, you'll have to compromise. So I kept saying, I don't know what that means. And then she finally said, you need to understand what happens in this industry. So I said, ma'am, I'm sorry that you feel this way. I've come from a comfortable backdrop. So I don't this. If I don't get this job, it's fine. I don't need it. So I've gone through it. I've experienced it. I've experienced a lot of nasty comments coming my way. Just people can be pretty nasty. So I've experienced that in this journey. When it comes along with it. I think it makes you a stronger person.
But did you go on to work in that film or not?
No, I said no to it, ma'am.
And you've also often spoken about how you were expected to conform to certain beauty standards, but you're such a lovely girl yourself. I mean, like, why did they want you to change your looks in any case?
That I don't know, ma'am, because I think everyone likes factory made products, and a woman should look a certain way, and her she should have straight hair and she should have a nose like this and lips like fuller lips and fuller other parts. So I guess it's just not that people have. So it's something which I didn't understand and I never conformed to because I'm pretty happy with the way I've been made. I think our flaws make us beautiful. So you should embrace your flaws.
And how do you choose your roles? I mean, like, how do you decide to say yes to a particular part?
Actually, Zoya Akhtar in her film, which I really like, Luck by Chance, said that your first film chooses you. You don't choose your first film. And that's pretty much how it happened, because when Rakesh Mehra, after Bhag Milkha Bhag, Gulzar Saab, Shankar Ehsaan Loy, do a film and you audition, you get the part, very few people will say no to it. So my
Yeah.
first film was me. Unfortunately, my first film didn't work, and then nobody chose me after that. So it was again a struggle of going, auditioning, getting rejected. But then there was Anurag Kashyap who backed me. So that was kind of a redeeming factor, validation that I know how to act. And then if Anurag Kashyap offers me a film, I will not even want to read it. I'll just want to work with him. So I've been fortunate enough to have makers like that. Then it was pretty much on the guidance of Anurag, because I found someone who was there to help me out. So I used to ask him when things used to get offered to me whether I should do it or not. And it was under his guidance. I used to say yes or no to things. When you get a role like Ghumar, nobody will say no to it, because it's an author backed, tailor made role. So any actor would die to do a part like this. And it's R. Balki, who's another genius. So it's been more the makers, the parts that have come my way.
So most of it have been no-brainers. I mean, you were going to say, anybody would have said yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And you follow cricket? Are you watching the World Cup matches? And are you
I'm an
really?
fan. Been obsessed with the game since I was a child. And yes, obviously I'm following the games. Because I'm shooting in Georgia, I don't get like Hotstar doesn't work here, so I can't watch a few games. But obviously when I get back, I kind of go back and see everything. The way India's playing, I think we're looking pretty unbeatable so far. So fingers crossed on that.
And what is it that has taken you to Georgia? Shooting and which movie or project?
Gee, I'm shooting for the second season of Special Ops. So I'd done this show with Neeraj Pandey 3 years
Right.
ago. So it's been long overdue, the second season, but we finally got into making it. So I've got this project which should get done by the end of the year, and I have a film which I've done with Excel called Agni, which should release hopefully sometime next year. So these two projects should be ready next year.
So with so many fine actors in the family, who is your role model?
My role model actually has always been my grandmom, and not so much for her acting, because I was too young. I never really watched her work. I watched her work very recently when I grew up. But she's been my role model only because she has a sense of, she's always had strength within to kind of fight the world. I think she's one of the strongest women I know, and my role model is her because of the strength that she has.
And your father has been a supermodel, right?
Yes, they used to both model, my parents.
And so do you have any fashion standards for yourself? So whenever you are in doubt, is it them that you look up to for fashion guidance?
No, not at all, actually, because they're very far away from the industry. It's something that they said goodbye to and never looked back on it. So my fashion standards are pretty much what I feel comfortable in. I feel that's the most important fashion statement, is if you're comfortable, only then can you carry off what you wear. So my fashion standards are looking within and seeing what makes me comfortable and makes me happy on a particular day.
And one beauty tip you would like to give to your fans?
I think drinking a lot of water and getting enough sleep. I think enough has been said about it, but we don't practice it. So I just feel drinking enough water and getting enough sleep is the best beauty treatment you can have.
But in your profession, are you able to get enough sleep?
Unfortunately, not, because of the travel and because of just the schedules we keep. But I always try to make sure that I make up for it as and when I can. So I'm not somebody who parties too much. So if I'm not working, I get my good hours of sleep in.
But if you look back at your journey, I mean, 2016
Yes.
to 2023, are you happy with the way it has shaped up, or could have been better? I mean, of course, life can always be better.
Well, like you said, life can always be better. I have zero regrets, because I feel every project that I've done has made me a better person. Better actor or not, I think people will tell, but the attempt has always been to become a better actor with every project I've done. But I know that every project I've done has taught me a lot personally. and the personal growth has been immense in the last 7-8 years. And I've met some wonderful people along the way. Some who've stayed on, like Rakesh sir, Anurag are like family to me in Bombay. Balki is a complete family to me in Bombay. So I know that I've finally, I think the journey is about having people that you're close to, and that's happened in the last 7-8 years. The box office success and the money and everything else is secondary. I feel if I can have ties which keep me close to people, I feel it's successful, and I've managed that.
And one acting lesson and one life lesson you may have learned from all these great directors?
Everyone's given me a lot of acting lessons and life lessons. Acting lesson from Amitabh Kashyap was actors take themselves too seriously. Don't take yourself so seriously. Life lesson from Rakesh Mehra was, Rakesh sir said that people are very fickle in this industry. You need to know who the real ones are standing strong behind you, because it's a use and throw industry. So make sure you know who the real ones standing by you are.
And you think it is a use and throw industry? I mean, over the years, have you felt
Yeah,
that?
most certainly. Yes. I feel relationships that you build in this place, you need, like Rakesh sir told me, you need to know the ones who are really there for you, and you find that out when the ones who are with you in your down and lowest times are the ones that will be with you forever. So I feel that has been one of the biggest lessons.
Cronism, groupism is a reality of the film
It is
world?
a reality. Yes, it is a reality, but I feel a lot of people have managed to wade themselves through it and manage to focus on their work and continue doing work and let their work speak. So I always look up to those people, and I don't get bogged down by groupism or these other isms that have come along the way. I kind of focus on how you can wade yourself through and just focus on getting yourself to become a better actor.
And among the other isms, would there be sexism too? Or it doesn't?
I think nepotism, sexism, groupism, all these isms, enough has been spoken about them. So I feel that one shouldn't kind of really look at the negatives. I'm always someone who likes to look at the positives, and for me, Ghumar has taught me that is to always look at life as if something bad happens to you, don't look at it and say why me. If you should look at yourself and say why not me, because probably you've been given the strength to deal with it. So I don't really focus on any of the negatives of what come along, because I really enjoy what I do and I really enjoy the place I'm in. So I just try to make the most of that.
You've also often spoken about Kartik Aaryan and how you look up to him as to being an outsider. He has made it. Is he a friend, or is it? I mean, like, how would you how would you define your admiration for him?
I feel I spent some time with Kartik in all these award shows he used to meet before he became a big superstar, and I think he still maintained his humility right even now after becoming the biggest star of one of the biggest stars of the generation. He's worked immensely hard, and I have immense respect for people who, fight against everything, work very hard. So be it a Tapsi, be it a Kartik, be it Pankaj sir or Nawaz, they've had it's been difficult, but like I said, they're focused on bettering their craft, and we can see it on screen.
Saimi, 5 years from here, how do you look at yourself?
Well, I think the biggest lesson I got 3 years ago is that don't look so far away, because COVID came and completely butchered everyone's 5-year and 10-year plans. So I look at it as, let me just keep working. I'm very happy with where I am. So hopefully just doing the work that keeps me happy, living different lives, different characters, hopefully working with more well-established directors, new directors who are doing exciting work, because I just love being in front of camera. So as long as I'm in front of camera, I'll be a happy person.
And one last question. What would you say to viewers who may not have caught Ghumar in theaters? Why should they watch it as it streams on ZEE5?
Because I feel it has a whole lot of inspirational lessons. I'm still learning from the film in spite of living with it for a year. It will just teach you that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. Life gives you second chances, be ready for it. And it's just a film which is going to be the most special film of my life. I do hope I get something more special, but it's going to be a little difficult. This one has got my entire heart, and I really hope that people watch it and then make a judgment on whether they like it or not. But just at least give it a chance.
Right, Saini. Thank you so much for your time, and
Thank
it's a pleasure talking to you. All the best for your future projects, and looking forward to seeing more
so
of you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for your time.